Good evening, Dartfish friends, and welcome back to Monte Carlo for our end of rally review. Goodness gracious me, what a Sunday we have seen here on the stages of the Monte Carlo rally, David. It's been dramatic.
It's been a dream start, hasn't it? To a new era,
Yes.
new generation. It has been everything you would have hoped for from a Monte Carlo rally, and the Monte has done what the Monte does.
Yeah, it really has. Listen, just to remind you folks, we started the day with a battle for the lead between the two Sebs. Ogier led Loeb by 21 seconds. You know what? It was manageable. We knew it was manageable. We wanted there to be a bit of drama in some ways, but we didn't expect it, David.
But we spent an hour talking to Jari-Matti this morning about the trouble that it was going to have on the power stage, because Ogier didn't really need to push. He was just going to win the rally. Jari-Matti wanted him to push to win manufacturer points.
We're going to move Loeb in second with Breen in third.
We really hadn't considered much change at the very sharp end of this one, but it happened. It was quite astonishing.
It was quite astonishing. So it really all started to go wrong for Sébastien Ogier on the penultimate stage. He picked up a puncture. Now, David, a lot of questions about the depth of the cut that Ogier took, and a lot of people, when they saw that cut, went, whoa, and yep, he punctured. It was a big cut.
It was a big cut, and to my mind, it was unnecessary. He'd taken more time. He was 24 seconds in the lead, something like that. Yeah. He didn't need to cut, but who are we to question him? You know, the guy had the cut in his notes. I mean, it was, if he had the cut, he did have the cut in his notes, it was a mistake, because there was clearly, I'm not going to say anymore. I can't say that Sébastien Ogier made a mistake. There was an issue.
There really was.
Yeah.
So that was the penultimate stage. Loeb then went into the final stage with a decent lead, a very, very manageable lead. It was all compounded for Ogier, the dramas, the woes, the disappointment was compounded by a jump start on that final stage.
But you say it was a manageable lead.
Without the 10-second penalty.
It was damn close. It was half a second, wasn't it?
Ogier went for it.
He absolutely went for it. And that, again, was just, it was captivating, wasn't it, to see that effort.
It really was.
Fantastic.
But what it did give us was just the most remarkable story. Sébastien Loeb returning at 48 years of age to become the oldest winner of a round of the championship, to pick up Monte Carlo win number 8, to pick up win number 80 of his career. Isabelle Dalmiche next to him. You know, she was teaching maths to school kids 10 days ago. Tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, the day after, she'll be back in the classroom teaching maths again. Just the story, M Sport, Malcolm Wilson, the way that they've bounced back, David. You couldn't have written a better script.
You couldn't. It was just perfect. And I think as much as we praise Sébastien Loeb, we have to praise Isabelle Dalmiche, and we have to praise Benjamin Vejas, perhaps Isabelle more, because she had less experience of these cars. And like Sébastien Loeb said, to get in and to be at that level, and not just to read the notes and to do everything in the car, it's the stuff around the car. You know, there's tyre pressures, there's way more. It's a way more involved process than competing at a national level like she was in the French Championship. So she's been brilliant, absolutely astonishing. And like you say, it is the most amazing story. You know, 18 months ago, Malcolm was laying people off at M Sport. They lost 100 staff because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And they got here. Yeah. They still got here through an incredible effort from all of the team, all of them coming back in over Christmas. And look, you know, it's absolutely paid off, hasn't it?
It really has paid off. Now, we caught up with both Sébastien Loeb and Malcolm Wilson just after the rally. Let's hear what they had to say.
Yes, for sure, we won. It was an incredible battle with Seb all the weekend. I was a bit faster on Friday. He was faster on Saturday quite a lot, especially in the last stage. He made something incredible. And today I tried to keep the pressure, and finally he had his puncture. So it was. I was really surprised after the stage. Oh, we are leading now. But it's just a great moment. It's 10 years after my last title, and to be still able to win a WRC rally, I'm really proud of that.
Incredible. I think you can see what it means to everybody in the team, the effort and the commitment that's gone into this car, the support that we've had from everybody involved, and from Ford US, Ford Performance. I must admit, I was very confident how good the car would be from the moment I saw the car turn the wheel. It's going to be an exciting year, and I think the fact that You know, we've got complete new technology. We've got hybrid, but it's the first time we haven't used a production-based body shells. A lot of new things. To have such a close competition, that's just what really motivates me. This is an incredible sport.
What better way of saying to all his backers, in particular to Ford, you trusted me, and I've gone out and
what I've
done
delivered.
A win and a third place on the Monte Carlo.
And that's the other thing. It was great to see representation. Mark Rushbrook and Jay Ward from here from Ford, and the emotion that it generated in them. But I think it came, didn't it? Because, you know, through Friday, Loeb had built an advantage and he'd been really quick. But then Saturday, it was like normal order was resumed. And Ogier had taken that time back, and then he'd moved further ahead, as we said, through today. And nobody really expected this result.
They really didn't, and it was quite remarkable. Now, we mentioned Craig Breen there, though the first place for Loeb, obviously, the podium for Craig Breen. I was impressed, David, by Breen's performance. He could easily have overdriven that car because he wasn't being outshone by his junior teammates, but he was, you know, he certainly wasn't stamping his credentials early on in the rally. The times were all very similar, and you're thinking Breen should not really be mixing it with Fourmeau and with Greensmith, but he didn't panic, he didn't do anything silly, bided his time, and today we saw the best of Breen, or we certainly saw the emerging best of Breen.
But we've seen this time and again. Craig Breen is not a driver that takes great steps. No. He doesn't put it all on the line, by his own admission, in his own words, baby steps.
Yeah, I'm just so happy for all the team. They've put 18 months of hard work into making this car competitive and making it work, and you know what more can we say? 2 cars on the podium the first weekend. It's just incredible. And I've grown into it sort of at every stage. I've started to feel a little bit more and more comfortable with the car with every kilometre. This morning, even more so again. I definitely found some more confidence again, and it's just leaves me really looking forward to the next event.
Yeah, many congratulations to M Sport, to everyone at M Sport. It's been a tremendous performance. What about Toyota, though? We talked obviously about Sébastien Ogier, a great man to have as a part-time driver. The feedback he gives from being in the car will be invaluable.
And just having him in the car.
I know he won't. We talked to Matty. He won't be involved in the testing and development. Yeah. But every time he drives that car, the feedback he gives will be invaluable.
Absolutely, tremendous. But, you know, it goes beyond what Sébastien Ogier did. If you look at what Elfyn Evans was doing, you know, before he went off, the time was sensational, wasn't it, through Sisteron? So this was a question to Jari Matti this morning. You know, how do you feel when we go to Sweden and Sebastian's not with you? Yeah. They're fine. You know, they're not fine because everybody wants Ogier, but they've got a damn good team as well.
Well, they've got 2 previous winners of Sweden. Oh no, they don't. They've got 1 previous winner, and Robin Perra, who took his first power stage win in Sweden a few years ago.
And Esa-Pekka Lappi, who's won Finland.
Absolutely, you know, they've got a strong team, but for sure they will miss this man. Let's hear from Toyota's Sébastien Ogier.
I keep my head up, keep smiling. I think it's been a very enjoyable fight the whole weekend. I have every reason to keep smiling. The performance was really good, and that's it. Well done to Seb and Isabel. It's also, it's not a stolen victory. They've done a remarkable performance one more time. So that's sport.
You know what? But you know that you have to come next year.
Yeah, now we are 8-8 in victory. So we need to make an appointment with Seb.
Exactly.
So it's quite clear that Toyota will miss Sébastien Ogier, but as you rightly say, David, they have a very strong lineup for Sweden in a few weeks' time.
Oh, they do. And definitely, when Ogier comes back, he will lift the team again. We've seen this so many times. It's the same with Loeb at M Sport. The guy only has to walk through the door, and everybody in that team looks up. Looks down a little bit to Loeb, but probably looks a little bit to Ogier. But he's there, and you know these are driving gods, aren't they?
We'll talk more about it near the time, but in my view, it's very difficult to pick a favourite for Sweden. It really is very difficult. But I tell you who won't be favourites for me for Sweden. Anyone in that team across there, David, in the Hyundai team. Yeah. Do you know what? Let's listen to an interview first. I think things have gone from bad to worse. This interview that we did at the end of the event with Thierry Neuville, it concerns me.
Frustration and disappointment, to be honest, because we had a tough weekend, but we got along with it. However, in this power stage, I drove for my life. I give it everything, and I really was disappointed when I saw the time of the board, because I knew that I had taken every risk I could take in the stage, and just to be able to take the 5 points of the power stage, but unfortunately yeah, we saw that it was maybe not a very realistic target. To see that somehow Oliver couldn't get to the finish today and not bringing home the car for some little issues. It's a bit disappointing. I mean, I'm fighting hard for the team all the time, and I would have liked that we both could have rewarded the team with at least 2 cars at the finish. But I think there was a solution to continue on. I mean, it was important for the manufacturer's points, and I don't like seeing that we give up so quickly. I mean, I have fought very hard. Even if I think back for last year, with all the troubles we had, we could have fought for the championship again, and fighting hard every time with problems. And I start the season more or less like I end up last year's season, and that not everybody's pushing in the same way. It was a bit of a disappointment today, but it is like it is.
I don't know really what to make of that interview with Thierry Neuville, because what's lacking there clearly, from what Neuville is saying, is a bit of team spirit. David, is that because you could argue they're rudderless at the moment? There's no team boss there.
There isn't, and the guy that they had there was so strong. You know, there was never any doubt in which direction they were going. They were going this way, and it was black or it was white. Everybody knew where everybody stood, and I don't think there is that there. You know, we've talked about this between you and I, and you are very concerned. I know you're very concerned. I think we need to keep a little bit of perspective here, that this is a very specific event. They were absolutely up against it, even to get to this event. So they achieved that. Let's not forget, these people are 2-time world champions. Twice in the last 3 years, they've won manufacturer championships. Okay, with Andrea Adamo, but they still have a great team of people around them.
You're making me feel a little better.
And you will win championships this year with reliability. They haven't got that now, and if they haven't got it for the first 3 or 4 rounds, they could be absolutely snookered for the championship.
David, anything else that we should be taking away from the Monte Carlo rally?
Oh, just what a great event. As always, we absolutely love coming here. We love this event. Okay, it wasn't quite the winter spectacular that we'd hoped for, but
there was enough variety out there in the weather conditions.
Just about enough. I mean, it would have been nice to have seen some more tyre gambles and stuff, but it's a great start. It's amazing.
Was incredible. Listen, I think we're in for a very, very, very competitive season.
Very.
I was looking for the word there, so the extra very came in. A very competitive.
It's been a long weekend.
A competitive and entertaining season. I'm absolutely convinced that we are going to get that this year.
Yeah.
Certainly on the evidence of what we've seen in Monte Carlo.
And you've got to say, maybe, sorry to interrupt here again.
You
Not that
always
sorry.
bloom and do, David.
I always do.
Always do. And do you know what? I always step aside for him. Have you noticed that? Does he ever stand aside for me when I want to interrupt? Never.
Don't go. Stop interrupting me.
You sound like a petulant child, and listen now.
What do we think? You know, the fact that we had Loeb and Ogier here and they've gone, there's an element that brings a bit more excitement to me. Stop looking at me like that for Sweden. I think it's quite exciting. It's really it is quite sad that we're not going to keep them. But in a way, you know, 17 championships between them, they've had their time. So the future is here.
The future is very much
or
here.
Sweden.
We've seen it. We've seen the future in many ways, with the youngsters, with the new hybrid cars, with the introduction of the biofuel. And we'll bring some more news about that as David Evans does a bit more digging.
Yeah.
The future is very much here. It's been great to see.
Are you part of the future?
Well, if you look at my hairline, you see it's probably part of the past. Similarly with yours, David. But no. Listen, we are just, you know what? We are hanging on the coattails of the world's greatest motorsport championship. And we're loving the ride. We've been loving it. I've been loving it for 20 years. You've been loving it for 30 years. We're privileged, David. No, you have, because you started before. That was a compliment.
Yeah. That was when I was at primary school.
My very first Monte Carlo rally was 20 years ago. Here, first place that I came to, that hotel. Look at that hotel up there. The Hermitage Hotel was the first place I ever went.
Your accommodation's gone downhill ever since.
That was 20 years ago. Folks, listen, what I have to say is thank you to everyone for watching our videos and for interacting and for coming along with us on the ride this weekend at Dirtfish.
Yeah.
It has been magnificent. We will be bringing you these types of reports and information and David's views, occasionally my views when he lets me talk, from every rally
we'll be bringing 10
on the
euros.
championship this year. It's been a joy. It's been a joy indeed to be able to serve you, the Dirtfish Rally friends and fans. 4 weeks to Sweden, dirtfish.com. That is the place for all the build-up. We'll see you there.